My name is Michael Johnson. Drive a 2000 Ford Lightning. Owned it for 24 years. Part owner of a tool company.
Sweet. So this thing makes some serious power, right?
This thing's made 1100 on the ground at the most it's ever made.
What, when you got this thing, was that the plan? Were you like, I'm going to make big power, or did you just get it to have a truck?
Yeah, I bought this truck the summer after I graduated high school in 2002. And I was always driving junky cars before that. And I just wanted something really nice.
What were you driving before you got this one?
I'd owned a couple cars. I'd had just always wrenching. So back then you could find notchback Fox body Mustangs for $500, man. You could find 70 Chevelles for $1,500. So I'd had a couple of those cars. My main car was an '85 Chevy Celebrity.
Okay.
Brown on brown, man.
You don't hear that a lot, man.
Yeah, nobody really even knows what they are. But I just left that thing completely alone. Would buy these other Fox bodies and Chevelles and drive those.
Heck yeah. So you've kind of always been into cars. Like,
I love cars, man. Love
Okay.
cars. Love the hobby. Love automotive.
Sick. So now is this like, this is your baby? You've owned it 20 something years now.
Yeah, I've probably had 20 something like really nice cars over the years. This one I've just never let go. I've owned it for 24 years. It's had multiple motors in it. Raced it in the NMRA series for about 3 years. It was a full drag truck at one point. Took it back. Got tired of that. Put it back into a street truck. When it was real fast, it was almost like too fast.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
scary fast. So I had to turn it back down.
Have you ever thought about selling it?
I've definitely thought about selling it. There was only one point where I was really thinking about selling it, and I just had it for so long. I really wasn't doing anything with it. It was sitting, and one of my best friend's kids was turning 16 and loved this truck since he was a little boy. And I thought about selling it to him. I was going to sell it to him for like $5,000. And then I got on and started looking at the values of them. This was just a few years ago. And from the time I parked it, 5 years later, the values on these things had just astronomically skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't touch one in this condition for $35,000 to $40,000,
Mm-hmm.
and that just blew my mind.
Now, what'd you pay for it when you got it?
I think in 2002 I paid $18,000 for it.
You can't even go touch a new truck for that.
No, and it was crazy. I really wanted one. I was working at Walmart, changing oil and changing tires in the Tire Lube Express Center.
Okay.
Saved every penny I could to get the down payment for this thing, and the monthly payment was like $375. Everybody thought I was crazy for paying a $375 car payment on this thing.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah, back then that's like, oh my gosh. Now everyone's got an average of like $1,200 for an EcoBoost for it, you know?
Yeah, and it was something like $375 for like 3 years. So it wasn't even like, now they're 7-year loans.
Yeah, now you can get a whole mortgage on a car anymore. I doubt you're working at Walmart getting a Lightning nowadays, but times are changing. How do you feel about the new Ford Lightnings? What did you think when they brought them back?
Yeah, my honest opinion was I thought they actually ruined the Lightning name. They, just like the Mustang Mach-E, they played on the name of a good car to try to get car sales.
Yeah.
Now, I do think if they would have made the new Lightning a regular cab, high performance electric vehicle, just like one of these, but an electric version, I think that would have been something really cool.
Absolutely. Now, when you first got this truck, you were working at Walmart, beating around and stuff. I mean, you used it as a truck a few times, I imagine, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, this thing is towed. Man, this thing has towed its entire life until literally the last year. I took the hitch off of it just about a year ago. Even when it was making 1,100 horsepower, it still had a hitch on it, and I towed my jet boats around. I just took the hitch off about a year ago, and I just told it like it didn't have to be a workhorse anymore. It didn't have to tow shit anymore. So
not a pavement princess at all. This thing has been around.
This thing's got it done. I bought it. It was bone stock. I left the stock for a few years. Didn't do anything to it. Back in 2000, even this truck bone stock would still pretty much run with anything on the street. Corvette, a Camaro. It was faster than the naturally aspirated Mustang Cobras.
What was the first like mod? You know, because you do the pulleys and stuff like that, and you feel a little more power. What was the first one that you like noticed a noticeable increase? Like you got in it after doing something, you were like, oh shit, this thing's kind of bad.
Yeah, I kind of went from bone stock to hitting it pretty hard right away. I went in one hit. I went pulley, bigger mass air, cold air intake, exhaust, deleted all the cats, and it went from making, I think stock they make, probably like 315 on the ground or something,
Yeah.
380 flywheel to making 450 on the ground in just one day.
That's
That
a
was a
big
pretty
jump.
big jump. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. And then of course, when you're a speed addict, man, like that feels incredible for about a week.
Yep,
And
yep.
then you want more.
You
So
get used to it, and you're like, oh,
yeah.
there's more.
Oh yeah. So right after that, just literally maybe months later, put a converter in it, a big stall converter, and that made a huge difference. Just getting the massive, heavy stock truck converter out of this thing and putting a high performance converter in it. And then immediately put nitrous on top of it, on top of the pulley and everything too. So
You put nitrous on it?
yeah, this had a 75 shot on it, and it was spraying through the blower. And when you spray through the blower, you actually make a little more on the ground. You atomize better than just
Okay.
spraying through the motor. So I think on a 75 shot and a good tune, it picked up like an additional almost like 135 on the ground.
Really?
Yeah, so
No one's using nitrous anymore.
yeah, nitrous in the thing, and I loved it, man. That was
Yeah,
probably
we
actually one of my
were
favorite
always
things.
running bottles back in the
I
day. Now
loved it,
nothing.
brother.
Now it's all twin turbo setups.
Oh
That is
yeah,
exactly what it's going towards.
yeah. All the nitrous was hidden in this thing too, so you couldn't even tell, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And
I've seen them where they, of course, that super famous picture where they run the lines like underneath the intake manifold,
mhm.
and you open the hood and you can't see nothing.
Yeah, you couldn't tell anything on this truck unless you really, really tore it apart. Like you couldn't find any of the nitrous stuff. The bottle and behind the seat was the only thing you could find.
So you're hurting feelings.
So yeah, it was. And that didn't really matter except for like when the SRT10 Viper trucks came out.
Yeah.
Like a pulleyed truck like this, it would take everything you had to run with one of those trucks. But then with the nitrous on it, man, I could easily outrun them. And you couldn't see it, so I'd pop the hood, and that was the only time I'd really fucked with anything about keeping it secret about the nitrous, making those guys think just a pulley was keeping up with their,
Yeah, I'm
their
making
super expensive 600 horsepower
Yes.
Viper trucks. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Was there anything that surprised you? Of course, you made bigger power later on, but like in the early stages of building it, was there anything like you raced that kind of surprised you? Like your buddy was like, "Oh, this guy's got a SN95 Mustang," and you're like, "That's easy."
Yeah, I'll tell you the craziest one, man, was back then, we would all go to Mexico like every weekend.
Yep.
And,
Shout out Mexico.
that's what you spent your whole week doing, man, dropping a few pounds off the truck or making a few more horsepower on your car, like whatever it took to get back the next weekend. And back then, the SRT4 Neons, man.
No kidding.
Yeah, there was a guy, I can't remember his name, down in the Murfreesboro area. He took the stock motor out, forged it, stripped all the weight out of the car, put a giant turbo in it, and every single week, man, we would hit it from a roll, and we were just absolutely dead even. Like nobody could ever pull each other and that went on for like a year.
Really?
Yeah, and then from a real fast roll, he could always get me. From a dead stop, I'd always get him, but from like a slow kick for years, man. But those little Neons surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah, I've seen big turbo ones and fast, dude.
Yeah.
And pricing them nowadays, oh, you can't get in those SRT4s
Wow,
now.
that's crazy.
Yeah,
I
they're
haven't
in the
looked at one in a
thousands.
decade, man.
Now I remember being in high school, you could pick them up, you go on Marketplace, and they'd be on there for $4,000 running driving. Now people's caught up. They're like, these are kind of cool.
Yeah.
So first catastrophic failure. Like what was something, you started modding it and you're like, this is going good, and then bam, something breaks. It always happens.
Yeah, for sure. The craziest thing with this truck is, man, I've had a lot of cars over the years, a lot of old muscle cars, big block Chevy Chevelles, and I've got a 65 Mustang with a Pro Charger on it and stuff. Every one of those cars, I had an SN. Every car I've ever had that I've modded, I've blown it up, like blown something up, had to fix it, catastrophic failure. This truck has never had one catastrophic failure on it ever.
It's never left you stranded.
It's left me stranded.
Okay.
Like a fuel pump resistor went out.
Okay. Yeah.
So nothing exciting,
Really?
Never threw a rod, never broke anything. It popped the plug one day. I'll say that.
5.4.
Yep, 5.4. The 99 2000s got less threads in the head than the 01 and up Lightnings. It popped the plug one day in Nashville. I just pulled the coil, pulled the power to the coil, individual coils, and so it didn't have any spark in that cylinder, and it was just blowing the compression out. And I just drove it all the way home from Nashville. Sounded like a horrendous exhaust leak.
Yep.
That was the only thing that ever happened. Didn't even strand it. Made it home.
Wow.
But
that's something to say. That's
yeah,
proper tuning or whatever it may be.
yeah. The only cool thing I guess about no catastrophic failures is this is probably the fifth motor in this truck. I think is every motor that I've upgraded to the next level, I was able to sell the motor before.
Yep.
And that just helped with the upgrades for the next ones. So.
Yep. So out of all the vehicles you own, what would you say is you're a big Ford guy? You got a Mustang.
Big Ford guy.
What's your like second favorite vehicle you've owned?
I really love my 65 Mustang. It's got a old 302. It's got a 361 cubic inch small block Ford in it.
Okay.
It was a NMRA race car motor out of somebody else's car, and 360 cubic inches is the limit. And they were 1 cubic inch over and got called out at inspection. And I was able to buy that motor cheap.
Really?
Put it in that car, all forged, aftermarket World Products block. Yeah, and it makes it wasn't anything super crazy, 760, but in a 2,400 pound car, maybe 2,500 with me in it.
That's moving.
It's moving. It's super fast. It doesn't look like anything. I never restored the body or anything, so it's all rusty. And it'd take that thing to any cruise in or something, man. People are all over it.
Oh, I'd say so.
So yeah. It's funny, when I bought this truck back in the day, in the 2000s, that was one thing I bought it for, was I wanted a cooler car for the chicks, man.
Mhm.
And in that time period, chicks loved it.
Yeah.
We used to, back then, downtown Nashville, you wouldn't really go to Broadway. You'd cruise 2nd Avenue. The cars would do laps cruising around 2nd Avenue, up and down 2nd Avenue. And so you wanted cool cars to be seen for that, man. And you'd like just be going down the street and talk to some girl, and you'd pick her up and she'd jump in and go cruising with you.
Yeah.
And so I wanted something cool for that. And back then, this truck was awesome for that. Like, chicks loved it, dudes loved it. Everybody knew what it was, everything.
Yep.
Now, 20 years later, this thing's iconic. Females have no idea what they are.
No clue.
My girlfriend had no idea what this thing was when we got together. She thought it was just some custom truck I built or something.
This is old Ford.
Ford I lowered and put a body kit on or something. But this thing is a dick magnet.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go, everywhere I go, we get dudes flocking up to us everywhere. And then I took my girlfriend to a cruise in Livingston, Tennessee, just a few weeks ago. Really cool event. And we had dudes all over us. We were driving down the road and guys were hanging out the window, like hooting and hollering at us.
Yep.
And my girlfriend, she had no idea, like, this thing got that kind of attention from dudes.
Now, when you take it out, do you still race a little nowadays with it, or just kind of cruising?
Yeah, we just kind of cruise it. We get on it every now and then. The older you get, man, and you're not mashing on it every weekend, like, it gets harder to control for sure, especially when you're making 4 digits.
Jumps you a little bit. You're like, oh, that power's still there.
Yeah, for sure. And then if you got this thing's got a true track in it, so it's basically like a spool, man. If you never drove something with 2 tires locked all the time, almost, people have no idea how to control that kind of stuff. But yeah, we'll get out. We'll get somewhere on a nice stretch where nobody's at and open her up a little bit. So,
what's your favorite memory in this thing? Racing or just a cruise? Or?
That's a great question, man. Oof. Yeah, I'd probably say my favorite memory was when this thing was making around like 850-ish on the ground. It was coming home from a big car event in Nashville one day. This is probably 15 years ago. And ran up on a Viper on the interstate and hit it with a Viper a few times, smoked that thing, and then just a little while down the road, ran up on a bike, a sport bike. It wasn't a Busa. It was something like a 750 or 900 or something, man, and smoked my first street bike. And that right there was like...
That's a different feeling.
Oh, man. Yeah, that put me in a different category. And it just so happened like everything was right. Had the big and littles on this at the time, and the big drag radials so it could hook, and yeah, man, that was a great memory right there.
That's
Like,
got to be a good feeling, man.
yeah,
Taking
having a big heavy truck that's a brick with no aerodynamics, and you know, putting a few car links on a sport bike. Like, if you've never done that, that's a pretty good feeling for a car guy.
that's a
So
good accomplishment right there. Does this thing still have creature comforts? I mean, are you rocking AC still and all that?
yeah, 100%. Still got the AC. Not really any creature comforts removed from it. It's not really gutted. It's got,
Yeah,
you know, stuff removed off of it
yeah,
to lighten it up as much as it can get. Still be a street truck. So
yeah. He actually pulled these chairs out of the back of it. I brought mine. They were kind of skimpy, and he just dropped the tailgate and said, "Don't worry, we got you covered." So he uses it. What advice can you give nowadays? Because that's what we run into. Is kids are like, "Oh, I got to have a Porsche, or I got to have a Ferrari, Lamborghini, or that's the kind of baseline for fast anymore." And even the smaller guys, like we were talking, it's twin turbo LS builds. That's
mhm.
what we're doing, twin turbo LS builds. I mean, what's your advice for these guys coming up in the car scene in 2026? It's a different landscape than 2000.
Yeah, my advice to younger generations in the car scene is just get out there and do it, man. If you got an old 60s Mustang, 70s Mustang, an old 60s or 70s Camaro or Chevelle, you got a 2000s Mustang is 20 years old, man. If you got one of
Yes,
those, you know, just get out and work on it. Just do
that's it.
small projects, turn wrenches, work on it. You have so much fun doing that little stuff. And you learn so much. You don't have to do these massive builds to enjoy the car hobby and go to events and meet other people in the scene. Just just get active. Get out there,
Absolutely.
turn wrenches, get in the garage, do a bolt-on project over the weekend. Dream big, dream about your big build, but man, just do it. Just get out there and turn wrenches and enjoy the hobby.
And so you never went to school for any of this. It was just kind of picked it up, and you were kind of before the YouTube tutorials.
Yeah, definitely for the YouTube tutorials. Never went to school for any of this. Just kind of figured some of it out. This truck, fortunately, was a lot of real bolt-on parts. You
Yeah.
know, companies made them. You just kind of swap parts out, which was that's nice too. But before I had this, a lot of, like I said, I had a 71, 72 Chevelles, had a 70 Chevelle, had 65 Mustang, had a couple Fox bodies, and back then, man, we actually had speed shops. You know, you would
Yes.
actually legit
Yes.
go to the speed shop and talk to the guys at the speed shop about about what parts to do, and they would advise you. And Jakes and Summit and stuff were around, but they didn't have necessarily tech lines you could call and sit
Yeah.
there for an hour and talk about upgrading your parts. And
Yep.
I remember when I bought that 65 Mustang when I was 18, I think, and it was a 6-cylinder car originally, and had a V8 swap done to it with like a 70s model 302. Had an aluminum intake and a 4-barrel and some exhaust, and it was pretty quick. And I went to this parts store and asked the guy like the fastest, cheapest way I could make it fast, and he told me nitrous. So that was like my first
Nitrous.
experience. Yeah, buying a basic nitrous kit with a plate system. You just bolt
Yep.
below the carburetor, and I did that. And sure enough, man, I think I put 100 shot on that thing, and man, it woke that thing up big time. But then it's probably my greatest speed shop story. The car, like I said, it was originally a 6-cylinder car, so it had all 6-cylinder suspension, 6-cylinder drum brakes all the way around, 4 lug. And after I put the nitrous on it, man, and we'd go to the 8th miles at either Buffalo Valley or Union Hill, the Nashville drag strips, it was almost a little bit too fast for those tracks without good brakes and stuff. And I went back to the parts store or the speed shop, and I told him I need some brake upgrades. And he told me get the hell out of there. They don't sell anything to slow a car down. So that was like
Speed shop,
that was
buddy.
like my greatest speed shop story, man. So yeah,
That's what supporting mods matter. Okay,
yeah.
we need bigger brakes. All right, that's sick, man. And so, wait, is that the same
That's
Mustang
the
you have
one with the
now?
ProCharge. Yeah, the ProCharge 361 cubic inch. Yeah,
You bought it when you were 18, so you've had it
I've had it for a long time,
just as
man.
long as this truck.
Yeah, I bought it. I bought it before this truck actually.
So you've had the Mustang longer.
Yeah, and it was clapped out when I bought it, man. Like,
Yeah.
I think I bought it off one of these cash and carry car lots for like I think $550, man, like around 2000 or 2001 or something. So
Not happening today.
yeah, you can't
You're
find that
not doing
anymore,
that
man.
today.
That was before Cash for Clunkers or Cash for Cars, whatever it
Oh
was.
yeah,
You
that
could
wiped
find
them
stuff
out.
like that all the time.
Yeah, well, even when I was growing up in high school, you could go in Marketplace and buy running driving beaters for 800, $1,200, dude.
Yeah,
And I mean, just whoop on them. Now that's not happening.
yeah,
No, you're selling blown up cars for $1,500,
it's
man.
insane, man. It's
Absolutely
wild.
insane. So, what made you choose, you know, the Lightning kind of over the Mustang? If you had them both at the same time and you started putting money into the Lightning, did the Mustang take kind of a back seat, or were you building them together, kind of?
I don't know. Back then, man, cars were just an addiction. You would
Yes.
just buy them and just enjoy them, upgrade them. All your buddies would come over to your garage or you'd go to theirs, and it was a different scene and a different culture than it is now.
Yeah.
Um, but I started in those. Like I said, I had like a Fox body, a notchback. I think I bought that thing for $500. It was outside of like a wrecking yard or something, man. And they were actually like building a new fence, and they were building it on the hood of the Mustang. So like we named that thing the Workbench.
Oh,
You
no
know,
kidding.
yeah, it was a super cool '85 notchback with a small block in it and stuff. Super cool car. But anyway, you could buy those things cheap back then and all that.
Yes.
But anyway, then I eventually got my first really nice vehicle, which was an '88 Chevy truck that was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I just became a truck guy, man.
Yes.
And then
It's different when you get your first truck.
yeah, I took that '88 Chevy truck, and this would have been like 1999 or 2000. I swapped the motor out in it, just a kind of a mildly built small block Chevy, put aluminum heads on it, some super cheap aluminum heads, aluminum intake, a 4 barrel, and a nitrous kit. And I think I put some 373 gears in it, and like it ran pretty good, but still wasn't like fast.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember I don't remember if I was in that truck or something else, and I ran a Lightning uh, on the interstate one day, like coming home at night, ran into a Lightning and slowed down. And I was in that truck. Yeah, it was myself, the Lightning, and there was a Dodge Dakota RT, and we
Okay.
all three hit it. And the Lightning and the RT, man, they put bus links on me. And
Really?
yeah, and then we got up to like the next exit, stopped, and I was talking to the Lightning guy, and he was like, "Yeah," and he was a super nerdy guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, "It's bone stock," and I was like, "Oh my god, man, I can't be out in the garage like wrenching and spraying nitrous and changing plugs every weekend to keep up with the nitrous to just get beat by some IT guy with a
They just
Lightning."
went out and
And
bought it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so then I
Yep.
fell over the Lightning. Yeah,
What do you daily drive?
I've got a 2020 Ford Raptor as my daily.
Man, okay.
So yeah,
That's a 40 guys dream lineup right here.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I love that Raptor. When they first came out with the Raptors, after owning the SVT vehicles for a long time, I was not super impressed by the first generation of Raptors.
Yeah.
And then I was looking for a newer truck, wanted a newer daily driver. Went and test drove a new Raptor at the twin turbo V6, the 3.5 EcoBoost.
Yep.
And I was kind of blown away. I didn't want anything with that much technology, spending that kind of money on it. I wanted probably a 5-liter Coyote truck.
Yeah.
Because it's traditional technology, been around
Yes.
forever, wasn't worried about it.
Yes. Bulletproof in a sense.
I've had that Raptor for 4 or 5 years now, and absolutely love that thing. Would not want any other truck. Thing makes really good power. It's got a couple little mods to it, and
What mods you got on it? Tuning and stuff?
yeah, it's got some cold air stuff. It's got a tuner. It's got some downpipes and some turbo adapters to increase the exhaust gas housing size. It's got what they call boost tubes, which is like from the cold air intake to the turbos to make the boost flow smoother. It probably makes like around, I don't even know, 450, 500 on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just super fun, super reliable. We're taking it out to Moab, went off-roading in it. If you buy a Raptor new, if you're the first person to buy one, the first owner of that VIN number,
Yeah.
you get to go to a Ford racing school out in Utah. It's all free. You just have to pay for your travel out there. It's called Raptor Assault.
Really?
And you drive their Raptors, and they're just bone stock Raptors, and they teach you how to drive the Raptor to its full capabilities. So you sit in a classroom, you do classroom work. They teach you all about like different tire pressures, how it affects it, and all the capabilities of the truck, all the features and settings on the dash. And then you go out in the field for a day or two. You go off-roading in the desert, you climb some mountains, you get to go on the race course, and actually you jump the truck, all four wheels are off the ground. And
Wow.
one of the trucks, yeah, I got pictures of it all to show you. It's
What?
super cool, man. That was probably one of the coolest automotive experiences of my life. And I love Ford for putting that kind of stuff on.
Yeah. I mean, Ford's always put out just a great performance product.
Yeah.
I mean, through the Raptors, the Mustangs, I mean, they've always had something. What's your sketchiest ride been in this thing? I mean, through the stages of horsepower, you've had to have one where you're like, oh my gosh, drive home with the radio off kind of thing.
Absolutely, man. There was one time in this truck, incident in this truck for sure that it's funny. I can still like put myself back in that exact night. Driving down the interstate, went out going to Mexico, doing some higher speed rolls, and I think at the time this truck was making around like 900 on the ground, and had the Bogart wheels on it, which were 15-inch lightweight racing wheels, with some big Mickey Thompson drag radials. This truck normally would always stick, no problem. I think it was going from like around a 60 roll, and I mashed it, and the truck really didn't move anywhere. And then so we kind of like did the hit again with this other vehicle, and the second time I mashed it, the truck like went all over the road, and I actually thought it really wasn't accelerating forward. I thought I blew the tranny out, and it wasn't moving. I thought I wasn't. Yeah, and then so we figured out, pulled over to the gas station, figured out the tranny wasn't blown, all this stuff, and then didn't really know what was going on, and went and hit it again, and man, it skated across like 3 lanes and then skated back, and this was all on its own, rolling under throttle, and the rear tires were just spinning from a 60 kick going that fast. They had too much air in the drag radials, and it just wasn't hooking, and it was literally like being on ice, man. Like I couldn't really control the truck going over 100 miles an hour, and it was just skating all over the road, smoking, like doing a rolling burnout at 100.
Yeah.
And golly, man, that was a crazy night, man. I got a video of it. It got behind us filming. So,
really?
Yeah, I was hitting it with one of my buddies. He had a 600 horsepower Grand National, and we were out hitting it from the roll. So
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Now all those Mexico runs, any federales? How many tickets has this thing racked up?
This truck, I've got speeding tickets in, man. Never got a drag racing ticket in this truck, but I have got a drag racing ticket in another vehicle.
What was it?
It was my 65 Mustang. Right after I put nitrous on it, man. And it was funny. Pulled over, got a drag racing ticket. This is when I was 18 years old, or 19, 18 maybe. I think I was still living. Well, I know I was still living at home. Got a drag racing ticket, and went to court. Got assigned community service, like a lot of hours. Like, man, I can't remember how many it was. I think it was like 130.
Oh.
And you got to do those like 4 to 8 hours at a time,
Really?
And so
that's a full work day.
Oh man, that was a year and a half worth of community service basically, and they only have them on certain days. You show up and they have a crew. You go work on the crew. You go pick up trash, or you go shred trees that are cut down. You work with the tree crews for the town, or whatever they assign you. You do. You don't have like nice air conditioned community service.
Oh yeah.
So I remember getting the whole community service done. My buddy was also pulled over and caught for drag racing, and he got the same ticket. So we were doing the community service together, and all this stuff for I think about a year and a half. It took to complete these hours.
Wow.
Yeah, you'd have to do it on Saturdays too. So you'd have to be there when they would tell you what days it was and assign you. You'd have to be there at like 5:30 or 6:30 in the mornings on a Saturday. And as a teenager living at home, your parents like they have no idea what's going on. And I didn't tell them. Like,
no.
Community service.
Yes. I remember my first ticket. I was not telling mom and dad.
Yeah, for sure. And then I remember getting the whole community service completed. My mom never found out like what happened. And then a judge signs off on your community service, and they like actually would physically sign a paper, and you would take that paper to like a court clerk, and they would like stamp it and give you a certificate. You're all done. I remember being all done with that, and it was maybe like a month later, Saturday morning at like 7:30 in the morning, someone's pounding on our door, and it was the police, and they were there. They said they were there to arrest me because I hadn't
What?
completed my community service. If you didn't complete it, you'd have to spend a night in jail.
Really?
Yeah, and
Just the
so
paperwork missing?
yeah, so I guess paperwork was just missing, and so my mom was like in complete shock. So then I had to, after I'd completed all this community service for a year and a half, waking up that early on Saturday mornings, hiding it from my mom, all this stuff, get it all completed, feel great about it. I don't look like a delinquent in my mom's eyes.
Yep.
And then and then the police show up, and then I gotta explain everything to my mom.
What in the world? Sorry, Mom. I've actually been doing this for a year and a half.
Yeah, so I actually had the paper in my room that day, showed it to the police, and everything got straightened out. But
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a crazy one.
Now, what did Mom and Dad think? Growing up, you're like racing. I mean, was that a family thing, or were they like, "You're crazy. Quit spending all your money on race cars"?
Yeah, my mom was pretty cool. She let me I didn't do drugs, didn't get in trouble
Yep.
really. Just the car thing was it.
That's drugs enough.
Yeah, for sure. You don't have money for drugs.
No,
Right? For
no,
cars.
sir.
So yeah, she just let me be. She really got on me in my first speeding ticket, and I was late for curfew. I think is the only reason that happened. But after that, like never. She knew I was taking care of business if I got in trouble, or it was
Yeah.
on me to get out of it. She wasn't
Yeah.
helping me. So
What'd Mom drive growing up? I mean, what would you get carted around in as a kid?
My mom did not drive cool cars at all. We were a very poor family, so we could not really afford cool
Understand.
cars. She had a Volkswagen Bug that she absolutely loved. She didn't have this when I was alive. It was before me.
Yep.
And I went down to visit my uncle in, I think, Birmingham, Alabama, and this was probably in the early 80s, late 70s, and I got it stolen. And she was always afraid to have like cool cars after that because people would steal them. But
Yeah.
yeah, my mom drove a Ford Escort station wagon. Uh, we had a Ford Taurus for a long time. It was a manual, a 5-speed car.
Really?
Yeah, and the starter went out on it. So me and my sister, I don't know, we were 10 or younger maybe. And everywhere we go, my mom would have to park where that car could be pushed out of the spot. My sister and I would have to push it
Roll
off so
started.
my mom could pop the clutch.
That's funny.
So yeah,
So that's where the love of Fords came from.
maybe
We're all starting
maybe.
that
Yeah.
Taurus. You were like, "This is it. I'm a Ford guy for life."
Yeah.
Man, that's funny. So, have you taken Mom for a ride in the Lightning?
It's really funny. I've taken my mom for a ride in pretty much like all my cars I've built.
Of
I've built
course.
some really cool stuff over the years. For some reason, nothing ever happens to any of my cars except for my mom gets in them. Just the weirdest things happen that make no sense. They die, they break down, stuff that like you would never even would blow your mind happening to a
Yeah.
car breaking down.
Yep.
Happens when she rides with me. It's just absolutely mind blowing. But she's rode in the Lightning quite a bit. But yeah, so there's like this curse with my mom riding with me. So we usually don't do that with my cool cars.
Yeah. Mom's not allowed to ride.
Yeah, and
It will break.
I've got a couple like jet boats, and an old V-drive boat, and an old 1950s wood boat. I've always wanted
Boats.
yeah, I love hot rod boats, man. That was
Man.
kind of my passion when I got away from cars for a lot of years.
You can't even leave the boats stock. You have to soup them up.
Wow, man, you get a 1970s jet boat, and it already comes with a big block in it, and it's like, man, it's just too easy to turn the power up. It's super fun.
That's wild.
Yeah. Anyway, so I always wanted my mom to go out on these cool boats with me, take her for a ride or whatever. And she will not go on these boats with me because everything I take her out in breaks down, and she don't want to be in the middle of the lake.
Now you're stranded on a lake instead of on Highway 70 somewhere where you can call a tow truck.
Yeah, like 15-ish years ago, maybe. I was really new, cars, automotive, mechanical, all of that. And me and my buddy discovered a jet boat in a barn in Nashville.
An actual barn find boat.
Yeah, an actual barn find boat, man. It was a Taylor SS jet boat, and it had like no interior in it. And we just saw like the big block Chevy motor, and I had big block Ford, big block Ford, the jet pump, and the cool shape of the boat, and we just like had to have it. We convinced the guy, he sold it to us for $600. We, aired the tires up in the trailer and took it home and started working on it, and we got it running in just a couple days. Just old school carburetor, rebuilt the carburetor, timed it up, changed the plugs, changed the oil, and the thing ran.
Dang.
And so,
You still have it?
no, we sold it.
Sold it.
We just put a couple of the, not even these bag style collapsible chairs, like the aluminum lawn chairs that like fold flat.
Yes.
Somehow we had some of those, man. It was like 15 years ago. So bag
Yeah,
chairs
yeah.
were just kind of,
That was the thing.
yeah. We put those in that boat, man, and like took it out on the lake, and it was a straight chick magnet, man. Like chicks were wanting to jump in it and go for a ride and
Yes.
climb on it and lay on it and tan. And oh my God, that changed our lives, man. Like we've had the nicest cars you could imagine, and chicks didn't do that. But we have this old clapped out, junky looking boat with lawn chairs in it. It's just something about being on the lake. So,
Yep.
yeah, so that got us into boats, man. And,
That's understandable. Fast cars will not get you women. Boats will.
yeah,
That's the plan.
yeah. So, going out to California for work all the time, I'd go to these jet boat events, learn a lot about them. Bought one, and then same thing, built a motor for it. Built a 532 cubic inch big block Ford aluminum headed motor, just a cruiser 4-seater boat, and it'll only do like 87 or something, man. And people think that's slow, but on the water it's fast.
Yeah,
But also taking off from a dead stop in a boat that makes all that torque, man, it'll throw you back in the seat like
that's
you won't find in another boat. But yeah, so then we started a chapter out of it's a Facebook group. You can find us on. It's called Music City Muscle Boats.
Music City Muscle Boats.
Music City Muscle Boats, man, and we're just a big group. We got well over 1,000 members now, and
Wow.
yeah, we got lots of guys all over the Nashville. There's a huge group of guys in Clarksville that are in it, and man, it's all vintage V-Drive jet power boats mainly. So
What's like the number one? So are they old school carbureted motors or like people swapping stuff in them? Like I have no idea when it comes to boats. I know pontoon boats. That's about it. But
man, you just basically call it a muscle car on the water.
really?
Yeah, it's a fiberglass hull with a big block Chevy in it. You got just open headers. They're water injected, so they stay cool on the
Yeah.
water. They just use the water that runs through the motor they eject them in the headers, and it just kind of drips in the header and comes out as steam. So cool
Wow.
looking chrome. It's got a big jet pump on the back, man, that just sucks water in and shoots it out the back, and it sucks it in to propel you forward. And you can do all kinds of different mods. You can change the jet up. You can throw big rooster tails. You're talking about like the simplest technology of automotive forms, man. It's I think people are probably really scared of them as far as thinking about the learning curve of
Yeah.
like learning something completely new.
It sounds different.
But man, it's literally like a muscle car on the water. It's just
Really?
it's air, fuel, and fire. Just
That's
a basic,
it.
basic
Right.
motor, man. And I mean, there's just something so cool about having 500-600 horsepower, blasting it on the water, cruising to a cove, listening to great tunes, floating all day, and then getting the blast back in the evening. It's something quite a bit different than the car scene.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
did you get to pull the jet boat with the Lightning?
Yeah, I've got a lot of pictures of pulling the jet boat with the Lightning and pulling my buddies' boats and stuff. And
That's cool.
yeah, and we show up to a cruise in and stuff. Like you get attention, but you show up with a cool truck pulling a jet boat, like man, everybody wants to be your buddy.
That's next level, dude.
So it's
That's
pretty fun.
Yeah, any boat, but
So-
let alone a jet boat behind a Lightning.
Yeah, so I got some pictures of that I'll share with you.
Heck
So,
yeah. We'll try to link them here.
yeah.
That's so cool, man. So boats, it doesn't matter. Land, water. I mean, it's
Oh, yeah,
fast.
right? You love it, man. Horsepower addiction, it's all the same, right?
Horsepower addiction, man. So what do you remember a time like when you were a kid that like was the turning point for like I like cars. Like I want to get into cars.
It's a great question, brother. Even though my mom wasn't a car person per se, or we couldn't own cool cars or afford to own cool cars, I should
Yep.
say, like when we would drive down the road, she'd still point cars out to me and be like, "What is that?" Sometimes I had no idea what they were.
Yep.
And then through Hot Wheels, like
Yep.
you'd figure them out sometimes. So that was kind of cool. So that kind of helped me. But then I think maybe getting to middle school and then up into high school when you're about to start driving and all that. A few of my friends, I grew up without a father, so a few of my friends' dads were car guys or kind of car guys, and
Yeah.
that really got me into it too, man. And
That was it.
yeah, I don't know how I became a pure addict for sure. That's a great question. How I went down that slippery slope, but
It happens fast.
I'd really have to think about that. But that's a great question.
Yeah, I relate, man. My parents, I remember going middle school everywhere in a Geo Tracker.
Mm,
We were 4 deep in a Geo Tracker, and Dad could fix anything, but never drove anything cool.
Yeah.
But we always watched Barrett Jackson.
Yeah.
That was the turning point.
Oh,
We'd watch Barrett Jackson every time it came on, and I was like, "These are the coolest cars
that's
ever."
so cool. You know that moment, man.
Yes,
You
that
know
was it. I
yeah.
just will I ever go to Barrett Jackson? Probably not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved it. And so next thing you know, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I have $5,000 invested in a $1,500 car right now," and that's how it goes.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, my best friend is a huge Geo guy. It's funny you say that.
Really?
Oh, he's the hardest hardcore car guy I've ever known in my life. But then he somehow went from like hardcore, make as much horsepower and strip down the cars you can, to also going to the flip side of it and become a hypermiler, which I don't know if you know what that is.
Just trying to get the most mileage?
Hypermilers are a subculture of cars that are literally your whole car is built to get as much gas mileage as you can out of it.
Oh,
You
gas
dra-
mileage.
you draft behind other cars, you do all this stuff. He's got a little Geo,
3-cylinder Metro?
3-cylinder Metro,
Okay.
and it's got custom ground cams for fuel. It's got rebuilt the motor, taken the pistons out, and have custom pistons with only 2 rings on them instead of 3 for less drag.
What?
It's all for mileage, man. I think on the interstate, he can get like 126 miles per gallon. I think he can make it from here. He goes to Florida a lot for little vacations. I think he can make it on, I want to say it's like 2 gallons of gas.
That is the most insane thing I
Yeah,
think I've
it's pretty
ever
crazy.
heard of.
I dig his knowledge in it, but man, I could never get behind him doing it.
That's the complete opposite
is complete
spectrum,
opposite.
man.
And if you meet this guy, man, he's the biggest gearhead horsepower lover you ever meet. So
That is crazy.
it's pretty cool, brother.
Wow, 126 miles a gallon in a Geo Metro.
Yeah, I think around town he gets like in the 60s or 70s.
You don't even need a Prius.
Yeah,
You don't need an electric
it's
car at
wild,
that point.
man. It's wild.
That is crazy. What's the perfect lineup?
Oh man, I love that question. Golly, man. I know the question you're asking, like you can only have 3 cars in the garage.
Yeah. What's it look like, man?
Yeah. I definitely have a new Raptor, probably a Raptor R for a daily or your
Okay.
four-wheel drive vehicle. I gotta have my Lightning, man. I can't.
Gotta have the Lightning.
No, gotta have the Lightning. And I think for my classic, man, I'd probably have a 55 Chevy done in like 2-lane blacktop style, that gasser style.
See, even Ford guys like the 55 Chevys. You can't
love a
beat them, dude.
Tri-5, man.
They're classics. That's awesome, man. Well, I greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely,
Honestly,
bro.
I've had a great time. Great guy, great cars, great story. And I appreciate it, man. Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
coming on,
much,
brother.
dude.
Love it, man.